Good evening, everyone. It's Sal. Got there in the end. Good evening, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine, guys. It's Thursday evening for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're staying calm. Hope you're staying blessed. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash the like on the video. All that lovely, sweet stuff. Really appreciate you all. Thank you so much, guys. Now, let's get straight into it, of course, guys, in regards to Manchester United. A glowing reference, a glowing, basically, article was released about Mazraoui. Mazraoui being a Manchester United defender, of course. A glowing reference was released today in regards to Mazraoui being one of Manchester United's best signings over the last 12 years. Now, it features heavily on his dribbling, on his control, on his calmness, and above all, on his versatility. Rumor has it that Manchester United will be looking at Mazraoui to fill in a void in that midfield position should need be. Guys, now, Ruben Amorim has been very impressed with Mazraoui and believes the guy can play that number 6 role. Guys, a lot of you have said this, to be fair. A lot of people have spoken about Mazraoui playing that number 6 role. But is it a reality? Are we shoehorning players into wrong positions again, guys? What do you think about that, guys? Very, very interesting because I have looked at Mazraoui. I've enjoyed the way Mazraoui has settled down at Manchester United, the way his calmness on the ball. And you know what? He plays like he's been there for years. And that's one thing I like about him. And I don't think it's in the realms of impossibility that Mazraoui can fill in that midfield position. It does add a little bit of competition for places in that position for now, considering that we do need a midfield position right now because we don't have one. Of course, lots of talks about a midfielder that could potentially come in, i.e. in January or in the summer, of course, but that is not what we need right now. What we need now, isn't it? And if we got players that can fill in a void in that position, I think they will benefit Man United tenfold, to be honest with you guys. I really do, of course, guys. But it is deemed Manchester United's secret weapon is Mazraoui, and I believe that he is one of Man United's best signings. There's only a few signings that you can really look back on and say, do you know what? That signing was good. That was a good signing. I mean, we got Licha Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Mazraoui. These kind of players, you can say, yeah, these have been good players. Now, we hope that the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha can come good. And obviously, I'm very confident already. I think when Mbeumo started like a house on fire, I think he's been absolutely phenomenal. Cunha as well has been as well. Ugarte, not so much in regards to he's still trying to find his feet in regards to that midfield. That midfield position is very difficult to settle down in, of course, because of the unstable nature and inconsistency of that midfield, which is a problem, in my opinion, given Bruno plays there the majority of the time. And I don't think Bruno quite works out in that midfield position. But you know, if we got players that can play that number 6 role, given that Mazraoui has a defensive nature about him, we could play him there. And I don't think it would be a bad idea, to be honest with you guys. I really don't. I want to know your feelings about that, guys. Very interesting one going forward, guys. And I bring in what I said this morning about signings, about defensive signings for Man United. Ruben Amorim has not discounted a defensive reinforcement during the summer or during the transfer window. Of course, I spoke earlier about Zeno de Bost of Sporting Lisbon. Of course, the Belgian international, 22 caps for Belgium, only 21 years old, of course. So Ruben Amorim is looking at his former club to maybe, boast the Manchester United squad. Funny enough, we haven't signed anyone from Sporting Lisbon yet, which is crazy, isn't it? When you think about, we were all excited about, the likes of the players that were playing for Sporting Lisbon and that they're going to come to Man United, they're going to sign for Man United and stuff like that. But, it's not to be, but it's never too late. It's never late. It's better late than never. Zeno de Bost is one that comes to mind. Now, it's no secret Manchester United are after a midfielder. Absolutely. We know that. And there are a number of midfielders that Manchester United have been linked with. Obviously, Lucien Agume, obviously Lamine Camara. You got Javi Guerra. You got Yuri Giza from Athletic Bilbao. And now, guys, we got Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson, of course, has been incredibly impressive for England and for Nottingham Forest over this past year, and he's just jumped leaps and bounds, in my opinion. And it's something that I spoke about a week ago or so in regards to, do you know what? Next year, we might have another new kid on the block. There might be another player that we're looking at and thinking, yeah, that guy's the guy. That guy is, I mean, you know what I mean? Like Baleba. No, a year ago, people weren't thinking twice about Baleba. Now everyone's on about Baleba. And I'm saying, like, next summer, we might have another player there that might be cheaper and, might be a name that we're not mentioning right now. Anderson is one of those players. I think Anderson has really surprised me, to be fair. Really. What a find from Tuchel, though, to playing for England. Absolutely. Fair play to Tuchel on that. Absolutely spot on, guys, in my opinion. Now, look, guys, away from the doom and gloom of what is politics today, it has been a bad day in regards to politics. It has been a sad day. And you know what? Every single day that goes by, we you know what? You know, it's like there's a new thing going on. You know what I mean? A new thing going on. We got the World Cup coming up in the summer. And obviously, I want to know your opinions on this. I really want to know people's opinions about the World Cup in America this summer. Should the World Cup be played in America? Is it right to put the World Cup in America? Now, aside from the political problems over there, I would say that they don't warrant World Cups in regards to football, because England have hosted the World Cup once. America are going to host it twice in 30 years. And I felt like another country, I mean, you look at Italy, have hosted it once, Spain hosted it once. You know, we need to look at, footballing nations, right? Footballing nations, wherever it is in the world, as long as it's a footballing nation, should be hosting World Cups. I think that the criticism and scrutiny that Qatar got whilst the World Cup was going on before was unnecessary, and it was unfair, in my opinion. But I want to know your opinions about that. Obviously, it's Chatterbox. We're going to be going all around the place. This is your show, guys. Chatterbox is your show, and I'm happy to answer anything that you wish me to answer. I'm happy to talk about anything you wish, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope everyone is blessed with you. Everyone is blessed, should I say? Absolutely. Big up RJ, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Hello, Sal, one of my favorite YouTubers. Big up Bobby, absolutely. One of my favorite people is Bobby as well. Thank you so much, Bobby. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Of course, absolutely. Ephraim, good afternoon, Sal. I think Mazraoui has an intelligence to play there. I agree. I think he does have an intelligence to play there. I think that we need to be looking at this a little bit, because I remember when Alex Ferguson was the manager and we were playing the likes of John O'Shea in different positions and stuff like that, and it helps the squad. When push comes to shove, it hurts the squad. Even in the 98-99 season, we would play Ronnie Johnson as a midfielder. When we were a little bit short, when we wanted to rest the play or something, we would get like a Ronnie Johnson or something in the side. Absolutely. So is Leach back? Leach is back in October at the moment, Ephraim. He's not back quite yet. He's in light training at the moment. He will be back pretty soon, guys, hopefully, because he's very important to Manchester United. People underestimate how important Leach Martinez is to this football club. Very important, especially in Ruben Amorim's system. We all remember the game against Liverpool last season when he just came into his own and absolutely got us a point in that game in the end. And I felt it's phenomenal. He's the only one really who can really take that ball out of defense and get that ball forward, in my opinion. Good afternoon, Daryl. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well again. Good to see you again, my friend. Afternoon, Sal. Maz has to start, I think, and Martinez is back. Not yet. Martinez not quite there. And he's doing light training at the moment. I mean, as much as we want him in the side now, I don't think he's quite ready for the big game against City. And maybe the bench, who knows? But he's only just started light training. Rumor is he's going to be back in early October. In regards to his injury, because he is rehabilitating in regards to that injury that he suffered, of course. Yeah, but he's a very important player to Man United. Daryl, absolutely. Big up Daryl, by the way. But he is a very important player to Manchester United, and I think rival teams as well are a little bit, fearful, a bit under. Neglecting the fact that Man United had one of their best players out for the last year, which was Licha Martinez, of course. Big up Daryl. Good to see you, Daryl. Hope you're well. Big up Asif. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. Big got Stephen. What's going on? Good afternoon, my friend. Good to see the United family in the house, mate. Hope you're doing well. Big up Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is blessed, of course, guys. RJ, do you think we can get Anderson in January? Now, look, you know what I would say? There's two things about this, RJ, in regards to this story. In regards to Manchester United are very interested in Anderson. They would be. I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, the way he performed for England is like it was like he's been there for years. He was absolutely brilliant, in my opinion, for England. And I felt like, you know, I was shocked myself. I was surprised. I was shocked the way he played. I mean, I shouldn't be really, you know, given his play for the under-21s and stuff, but he really took like a duck to water in regards to the England game and the two England games. I know one of them was Andorra, but Serbia is no mugs. Serbia do qualify for big tournaments and stuff, and for him to dominate that midfield the way he did, I have to give props to Tuchel. I really do have to give props to Tuchel, the way he spotted Anderson in a way, you know, and took the risk on Anderson. Very, very good. The conundrum, the double-edged sword, which is going to occur, is what happens when Bellingham is back. What happens when Cole Palmer is back? What are England going to do then? Are they going to drop one of the main stayers? Because Anderson is performing so well, I actually think he should be in that squad now, guys. And maybe I'm being overly zealous and stuff like that, but definitely think he should be in that squad. When you think about Henderson, Jordan Henderson should never be in that squad anymore. He's past it. I don't care about his personality, the way he's round. He's a good lad and all that. I really don't think he should be in that squad anymore. Big up everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you. No way Forest Island's letting Anderson go. I mean, go for Brady and RJ. You never know. Money talks at the end of the day. Anderson's head will be turned by Manchester United. Once Manchester United come calling, Anderson's going to say, I want to go to Manchester United. And that is where these owners have a problem, isn't it? You can't, this is a democracy. You can't keep a player if he no matter how you look, no matter if you look like a mafia or not, you can't keep players against their will, because eventually we all know that when a player wants to leave, seldom they get their wish, and the club loses at the end of the day. Whether it's right or wrong, it's just the way it is. Man United are not looking at Boadi at the moment, unfortunately, although that could be a case in the next few months. Man United might be looking at him, but at the moment, we're not looking at him. We're looking at Anderson, we're looking at Yavi Guerra, we're looking at Lamine Camara, Lucien Ugume, Yavi Guerra, Yora Giza, and obviously Adam Wharton, and those obvious ones as well with Baleba and everything like that. So Man United looking at that. Man United haven't really looked at Boadi yet, and that is something that could occur though, because I do rate him as a player. When we're thinking about Nice and we're thinking about obviously Jim Ratcliffe and stuff, I mean, I got this feeling about me. It's not gospel, but I got this feeling that Ineos are going to sell Nice. I just got this feeling, guys. I got a feeling that they're going to end up selling. Absolutely. Asif, I like the idea of Mazza has an eye for goal. I pass. He can dribble. He can hold the ball. He can carry that ball out of my concern will be the cover on counter, and he might not be effective on shooting. I mean, when we look at it, that's true. That is true. But at the moment, we're looking at cover. You know, we're looking at squad depth. So if he can do that position, play that position, and be a stopgap, do you know what I mean? So, like, basically, look, you know, we're not saying that, yes, Mazraoui is going to be the midfielder and that is it, solid, that's it, that's exclusive. He's going to be the midfielder for the coming year. No, what we're saying is that if he can play that midfield, fit a role, and maybe we can rotate a little bit, because we're looking at our midfield, in particular the number 6 position, and we're not looking too strong, in my opinion. We're not looking like we got a squad depth. So I think it would be good for the squad. We could argue the same thing when we had Alex Ferguson in charge, when we put John O'Shea in midfield, or when we put Ronnie Johnson in midfield, and players of that ilk. Do you know what I mean? And it's always good to have a player that can be a fill-in in that position, because obviously it gives players a rest, and you can kind of surprise an opposition team a little bit, of course. And you may be surprised about Mazraoui. I mean, not many of us know, but he can actually shoot. He is quite a good shooter, but he just plays from the other side, doesn't he? At the end of the day. Absolutely. Big up Danny B. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Hope you're blessed. Big up Kamali. What's going on, brother? Hope this is one of the best YouTubers covering Manchester United news, because he's not biased. Thank you so much, Kamali. Much love to you, brother. Always, as all ever, man. Thank you so much for joining me every single day, my friend. Really appreciate you, mate. Really appreciate you, brother. RJ, I'm a bit nervous already. I don't want us to lose. I don't think any of us on this stream want us to lose, RJ. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Let me just rest your mind. Man United in my opinion, will have a good game against Man City. Let me tell you that right now. We're looking at Man City. Man City have got about, 15 injuries or something, 10 to 15 injuries at the moment. This is a perfect time to play Manchester City. Manchester City are worried about us. Don't make no mistake. They are worried about us at the weekend. They don't want to play us now. They would much prefer to play Man United in a few weeks' time. Man United, fine. Man United, apart from Licha Martinez and obviously a couple of players here and there, we are fine. Cunha's back. Mount is back. Sesko's there. We ain't really got any injuries, to be honest. We're picking from a full pool of players. And to be honest with you, apart from Haaland, every one of our players is in good spirits. Of course, guys, in regards to Man City having Haaland scored 5 goals. 5 goals the other day, of course, only against Maud, rode over, of course. But look, nothing to worry about, RJ. We won there last season. Some may say with a weaker squad under Ruben Amorim, could we do it again? These are the games that Manchester United thrive, in my opinion. These are the games that Man United really come into their own, in my opinion, guys. They really do. Absolutely. Kenny, big up, Kenny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Massive midfield. Seems familiar. Big up, my friend. Big up. Big up, my friend. Guys, let me know if my thing's been lagging lately. So just let me know if it lags. We need to get in a good English players too, Anderson. I just don't know if it's realistic. Anything is realistic in football. I remember a year ago when people were talking about Mbeumo. When we first started talking about Mbeumo, lots of people were coming on the stream, RJ, saying that it's unrealistic. Brentford are not going to sell Mbeumo to Man United, blah, blah, blah. I heard it all. And one thing you never underestimate is Manchester United, as obviously Fabrizio Romano said all those many, was it months ago, didn't he? Now, don't underestimate the Manchester United. That's what he said. And look, you know what? Never underestimate us. We can. Obviously, when the Sesko rumours came out, everyone was saying, why is Sesko going to go to Man United? Why is he going to pick Man United? We all know who they were, and we know, and I was saying, listen, you never know in football. We're still Manchester United at the end of the day, and this is something that we have to remember. Kenny, I agree, Licha shouldn't be rushed back now because he will get injured again. Absolutely, Kelly. Ronaldo or Messi's out. Ronaldo all day long. Ronaldo's the GOAT. No rigged World Cup is going to change my mind in regards to that. And that World Cup will forever be a void, in my opinion. It was quite obvious. It was even admitted, guys. And what happened in that game against Holland and Argentina, I will live with me for a very long time. Asif, God, these international breaks kill me. Sunday's a big game. We beat City. We put 1 foot into the top 6. Absolutely. Do you know what, Asif? If we win against City and we win against Chelsea, who knows what can happen, bruv? Who knows what can happen? You never know what can happen. Man United might actually get in that top 4 this weekend. There you go. That's how quickly things can change. And this is why people need to not jump too soon in regards to the negativity and saying, oh, he's a fraud, he's a this, he's a that. Give it patience. I've been impressed with Man United. I mean, if you can't see the way Man United are playing, the way Man United are dictating games. Yes, we're not scoring the goals that we should be scoring, but when you look at the Arsenal game and you look how we dominated the game, if tactics don't work, if it's the formation, you won't dominate a game against Arsenal. That's pretty certain, guys. So look, I'm excited when it all comes together. Look, I think about some of our players, and I think about Mbeumo, and I think about Cunha, and I only get enthusiastic. I don't know about you. I get enthusiastic. I get a little bit excited. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Why would Newcastle sell a player like Anderson to Forest? Because Newcastle are not really good at developing players. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Newcastle. Sorry. But they're not very good at youth players. They're not very good at bringing youth through. They're a buying team. They always have been, even in the 90s. That's what they were. They were a buying team. They didn't really produce players. I mean, I'm trying to think who they produced. I'm trying to think about it. But the Nottingham Forest and Newcastle relationship happened 20 years ago when Jermaine Genius came from Forest, went to obviously Newcastle United, and you know what, they've had this kind of relationship as well. I think Steve Stone as well left Nottingham Forest and went to Newcastle, if I'm not wrong, as well. There are a couple of players there that this Newcastle Nottingham Forest sort of relationship has been going on for a long time, if you know what I mean. And I wouldn't. They made a big mistake. They made a big mistake in selling Anderson. They didn't give him the opportunity that he deserved, and I'm sure that he's proven them wrong right now. Now, if he goes to Manchester United, that'd be a huge slap in the face to Newcastle United, wouldn't it? And obviously they do have a very strict owner, of course. Asif. United will add to the midfielder January only if we have an upward trajectory. It's or downward trajectory, I would say. It's hard to say, but credits to Ineos for getting rid of Burn squad 11 deadwood clear out. Don't credit to Ineos, Asif. Asif, no, you give credit to Ruben Amorim because it's Ruben Amorim who done it, not Ineos, mate. Ineos just done what Ruben Amorim wanted him to do. They just done what he wanted. That's what happened. Not give credit to Ineos. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was Ruben Amorim, and Ruben Amorim did the same at Sporting Lisbon. He done 20 players at Sporting Lisbon. So don't give that nonsense about Ineos. Give credit to Ineos on blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense, mate. Absolutely not. Asif. Sorry, Asif, I had to say it. Now the hell did Gibbs White not go to, what was it, Forest owner's fault? Look, now how the hell did Gibbs White not go to Tottenham Hotspur? Wasn't it Tottenham Hotspur? Look, you know what? I'm not sure why that didn't happen, but one thing I do know is that obviously the Nottingham Forest is a businessman, and if the money comes in, he's a businessman, and he's going to take the money. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, yes, he's a strict character, you know, and he's going to be hard to deal with. I think his expectations are a little bit high, in my opinion, for Nottingham Forest. I think they made a big mistake with Nuno Santos. I do believe that. I think that Postecoglou is not a Nottingham Forest manager. He wouldn't. I think they're in very big danger, guys. I really do, because you can't play high line for life, mate, at Nottingham Forest. Because what made Nottingham Forest strong was their ability to defend, was their ability to be tactically astute. And I don't think they will be tactically astute with Postecoglou. Postecoglou fluked a Europa League win, of course, and a rearguard action. Like I would liken it to an FA Cup third round giant killing. That's how I likened it. Obviously, we were partly to blame ourselves. We weren't very good. We were toothless. And he's going to live on that for the rest of his life, apart from the Scottish titles that he had, you know. Absolutely. Big up, Ty. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Again, Tybog, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good day, my friend. Big up, Ephraim. Hope you're well, brother. Hope everything is blessed for you, my friend. Good. The Forest owner looks like a typical ransom kid. Big up, Kenny. Yeah. Remember the Argentina penalty in the World Cup final, Di Maria dive? Yeah. Look, I have no doubt what happened in that World Cup. No doubt whatsoever. And I have got contacts in Qatar, and I do know what happened in that World Cup. And I know that the narrative, even with Trump is a big Messi fan. And it was this narrative of making Messi a world champion was pushed even before the tournament began. They said, I would want nothing more than Messi to lift that World Cup, quote. That's what it was. That's what was said. And don't be surprised if they do this in the World Cup in USA, of course, guys. So let's wait and see. How you doing, my friend William? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing. Peace to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Guys, Asif, I actually support Mazza as a number 6. He may cement his spot in terms of adjusting Mazza just intelligence to stick to the given the field task. Young is the prime example. Players can adjust. They can adjust. But one thing I would stress is something that I've stressed numerous amounts of times. No matter what midfielder you put in that position, if Bruno Fernandes is playing next to you, you're going to struggle. And that's what I would say, because he's all over the pitch. And he leaves the midfielder isolated. And it's always a 2 against 1, 3 against 1 against that midfield. If you look at it tactically, you look at the heat map, Bruno's everywhere. Bruno needs to be disciplined in that position, not just the likes of Mazraoui or whoever it is. Bruno needs to be disciplined in that position because he's not. And just because he's the experienced man and the captain and stuff, he needs to be more disciplined in that position, because we do struggle when he goes to left back, right back, goalkeeper, wherever he goes, of course, as well. Of course, guys, absolutely. Kenny, actually, Mazraoui has played in centre mid before as well. Yes, he has, Kenny. You're absolutely right. He has, so he knows about that position. Yep. Amorim deserves full credit for the clear. Absolutely. I'm not giving Ineos any credit for that. This is all the makings of Ruben Amorim. This is RubenAmorim.com. This is Ruben Amorim, what he does with what he done with Sporting Lisbon. You know, all he did, all Ineos did was just say, okay, fine. They did. The fact what we got to understand is this, guys. We sold 2 players. You know, next year we could have Rashford, Sancho. We may even have Onana back, guys. You know. Now, speaking of Onana and speaking about goalkeepers, Ben Jacobs, of course, friend of the show, has been speaking. He spoke about Manchester United acquiring another goalkeeper should things go pear-shaped with selling a men's. Now, this is a little bit you could cast it a little bit of a negative point of view. I believe that Senny Lamens will be good for Man United in the long term. I really do. I think he's going to be a fabulous goalkeeper for Man United in the long term. But Manchester United are ready for a contingency plan should anything go wrong in regards to Emi Martinez, of course, guys, and Maignan, who's going to be out of contract in 2026, obviously playing for AC Milan. He will be out of contract in 2026. So Man United could still be looking for goalkeeper. Of course, in an ideal world, we don't want that to happen. We want Senny Lamens to come in and absolutely be a revelation, which I believe he will. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with that. However, Ben Jacobs also said that Senny Lamens looks likely to start the game against Manchester City at the weekend, which is good news in my opinion. And I would throw him into the deep end. I really would. I would say, okay, mate, this is your church. This is where you should be. This is where you play. And that's it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's no time like the now. Every single game is difficult in the Premier League, whether it's City. You can argue that the Chelsea game is more difficult. You can argue that Brentford away is more difficult. Brighton is more difficult. We've had worse results against Brentford and Brighton than we have against Man City. And this is what we're talking about. Every game in the Premier League is a difficult one. Absolutely. Absolutely. Forest players are good at getting injured quick. Yeah, they're a physical team, isn't it? Absolutely, RJ. Absolutely, my friend. Ronaldo or over Messi, whole day, every day, brother. Every day. Forest will be possibly relegated now. It could possibly happen, Joe. It could possibly. I think my guy, Terry Flewis, said it. He said that the fact that basically the way that Postecoglou plays, it reminds me of when Nottingham Forest in 98-99. You remember when Man United won the treble when we smashed 8 past Nottingham Forest? It was 8-1. You remember that? It does give me hallmarks of this kind of thing because you have to be, when you're managing a team like Nottingham Forest, you can't be naive. You have to have a tactical nous about you. Now, maybe Postecoglou might surprise me, but what I saw at Tottenham Hotspur, I didn't see anything to suggest to me that he's a tactical magician. He plays one way, high line for life, mate. High line for life, mate. And it's basically, Scottish football. That's what it is. And me, you, anyone in this stream can go to Celtic and win the league with Celtic. My grandmother could win the league with Celtic. It's not a hard thing to do at the end of the day. So he lives off that. And I don't like the idea of Postecoglou back in the Premier League. I don't think he's warranted that. He's an extremely arrogant person, obnoxious person. I do believe there is the Greek influence in regards to the chairman of Nottingham Forest, and obviously, Postecoglou. I think that you're both Greek, ain't they? Absolutely. I hope the World Cup 2010 gets moved to Africa or Europe. America, too much going on there. I don't think America should be hosting the World Cup. I think there's many more teams in Africa, in Asia, in Middle East, in Europe who should be hosting the World Cup. When you think about the World Cup, right, you think about England. 1966 is the last time they hosted the World Cup. Can you imagine? The country that invented football hosted it once. That's a bit like America hosting the Super Bowl once. They should be nowhere near the World Cup. They've been mocking football or soccer for many, many years now. You know what I mean? And I don't think they warrant it because they don't appreciate football. Yeah, there's some great American football fans in regards to Man United and stuff like that. They are a little bit crazy. They don't really understand the culture of the game. They just speak like, nonsense sometimes, But what I would say is that, I think it should be moved. It should be moved. I don't think, England could host the World Cup tomorrow if they were given the keys to it. They will host it tomorrow. Japan can host it again. You can get, any country in North Africa can host it. They host the African nations and stuff like that. You can do it there. Why not? At the end of the day, what countries that actually love football. And look, I'm not speaking on a level of myself because obviously that the World Cup in America, the kickoffs are going to be like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning and stuff like that. That's going to be a nightmare as well, guys, depending where it is, whether it's in Los Angeles, Canada, Mexico. It is in Mexico as well, though. I would give them that. There are some games in Mexico, which I give Mexico credit for because it is a football passionate nation. Of course, they do like baseball, but it is a football passionate nation. Canada is becoming a football passionate nation as well. I would much rather the World Cup be in Argentina, a country like that, Mexico, Argentina, or, Mexico and somewhere like Paraguay or Bolivia or Uruguay. somewhere like that. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but you know, I don't think they're going to move it now. It's too late in the day, to be honest with you. But if things continue politically the way things are continuing, I mean, look, you know what? At the end of the day, nothing like what happened yesterday should happen in this world today. It's ridiculous what's been going on in this world, and you know, it makes people worry when they go to America. I've been to America a number of times. I've been there for 2 years as well, guys. Those who know me well, of course. You know, I was in Los Angeles, you know, and you know, it's not a place like, you know, where you can be complacent ever, you know, at the end of the day. And especially these days, there's a lot of emotions going around and stuff like that. And what we don't want a domino effect of violence. And that's what could happen. You know, that's what could happen for every reason. I don't like America, guys. I mean, my grandma's America. I don't think it's that thing. Sal, this client journalists do not want to give credit to Amram. They don't want to give credit to Amram, and we need to not fall into that trap. We're not giving credit to Amram. We need to give credit to Amram, because what Amram is doing at this football club is no other manager has done yet. You know, no other manager has done it, and he's doing it. And I give him all the credit in the world. To cope with the problems at this football club, to have to deal with Sancho, to have to deal with Rashford, to have to deal with Anthony, to have to deal with Garnacho as well. These are incredibly annoying things that he's had to deal with when he wants to concentrate on football. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Sal, let me just get this up. So don't you think Amram was bought in for a reason? My point is Ineos who bought Amram. I mean, it was no brainer though, Asif, isn't it? Because Amram was wanted by Liverpool and Real Madrid. So it was a no-brainer. They went for him. What they did wrong is they got him in the January, you know, and they forced him to go. They begged him basically to come in January. Otherwise, his opportunity would be out the window. I don't give any praise to them, mate, for that. Absolutely not. Qatar would have done the same thing, Asif. Absolutely not. Getting Ruben Amram, one of the best up-and-coming managers in Europe, beating Man City 4-1 in Champions League. I mean, come on, even my grandma would know to get Ruben Amram through the door. You know, at the end of the day, I put nothing on them. Absolutely. Asif, absolutely, Sal. The World Cup viewership will be less because of the major of football-loving people will have difficulty watching the games due to time zone. Yeah, look at me, mate. I'm 3 hours ahead of the UK. So when you're looking at a game that's going to kick off, for example, 8 hours in New York, for example, New York is 5 hours ahead of London. Behind London. So when you're thinking about that and you're thinking about me being 3 hours, goodness me, it's going to be some late ones, guys. We got a little bit of a taster with obviously the time zones when we do the friendlies and the 4 a.m., 3 a.m. and things like that, you know what I mean? Which is obviously going to be, it's going to be a little bit of a problem going forward in regards to, you know, the watch alongs. But we're going to be doing it. We'll soldier it on. We'll do it, of course. RJ, I think it would be very good if Baleba starts smashing that at Brighton now for us. There is no coincidence in regards to Carlos Baleba and the way Carlos Baleba has performed so far this season, even for his country, Cameroon. What I would say is that his head has been turned. It's quite obvious because he was so good last season. I think his head has been turned and Manchester United are in his brain. And this is exactly what I was talking about Anderson earlier. You know, once Man United come calling, it's a big call. It's a big call. You're talking about Manchester United, you know, and we still have that pull. You saw it with Sesko and Bremo and Cunha. You saw that. You know, we still have that pull. We still have that, you know, attractiveness about us that, you know, these players, if Man United come calling, it's a different call. Man United are the call of Real Madrid and Barcelona. Even though we're not there where we want to be, it's still the name, isn't it? It's still Manchester United. It's still like, you know what, Manchester United are calling. Do you know what I mean? And it's still a big one. RJ, Chelsea look like they are in the same deep valley. I mean, look, I have no faith in PGMOL. I have no faith in them in regards to the 74 charges that have been handed over to Chelsea. Having seen what they've done with Manchester City, I don't have any faith in the system whatsoever. This is why I've always stood stern, in my opinion, about the FFP and PSR, that we shouldn't really worry about that because at the end of the day, it's proven that you can get away with it. It's no point having these rules if you can just get away with it, i.e. Manchester City, who quite obviously were guilty. It's quite obvious that they were guilty, yet they can work out a deal with the Premier League and get away with it. Nothing will happen to Chelsea. Absolutely not. Nothing will happen to Chelsea. I don't see them doing anything in regards to punishment. I don't think it benefits the Premier League in their eyes. They look at things on a financial point of view. They don't look at things in regards to what's fair and what's not fair. What is true, though, is that if it was Leicester, if it was Everton, if it was Newcastle, hell, if it was Manchester United, they would have pulled out all the stocks to make sure Manchester United get punished. That's what they would have done, or Leicester, like they did do, isn't it? I mean, any other team it would have been. There's certain teams, guys, that get away with it no matter what. Ephraim, my guy. Sal, if we play like the Arsenal game, I think we will win against City. I think we're going to be fine, Ephraim, because we're a little bit longer down the line as well in regards to fitness as well. I think this is very important in regards to the fitness, being match fit. This is very important. It's something that gets pushed under the rug a little bit in regards to match fitness. It's something I would tell about Lucha Martinez and other players in the squad. Is like match fitness is so important. And I feel like our players like Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko now played in internationally as well, are more match fit. And I'm really excited to see our team play against Man City. Look, however, what I would say is a Manchester derby. It's a Manchester derby, and we have to be up for it. Guys, we're not going to walk into that game and absolutely win 5-0, even though it would be a dream. And I think we need to give Man City one good hiding at least. I think we need to be really up for the game. We need to make sure we are solid and make sure they don't get any opportunities. De Ligt needs to put Haaland back in his pocket. Or of course, Thingy. We need to stop service in for Haaland. Yeah, he only touches the game 5 times, I heard, or something like that. Daku, Silva, and Foden must be stopped. That's all for me. They're going to... I mean, I don't know if Foden will play. I do believe that Foden usually has a good game. Silva, I mean, I know he's a little bit past it, in my opinion, but he's always going to be a dangerous player, of course, guys. Doku, I think he's a bit of a pace merchant. I think he's a bit of a pace merchant. Not too worried about him, even though he did score against Man United in the FA Cup final, which Onana should have saved, of course, guys. Onana's gone to Transport, by the way, guys, of course. He's been on the plane. He's going over there on loan. Guys, I don't think he'll play for Manchester United ever again. I don't think he should. I don't think Foden is injured. I'm not sure about Foden, but I don't know whether he's match fit, and that's what I would say. Asif, Sal, do you think Baleba is one reason why one season wonder or dip in form is on purpose? I mean, we have seen players performing their breakthrough season and just fade away. Yes, you have to keep this in mind, Asif. You do. You do have to keep this in mind, because you remember when Evan Ferguson broke through at Brighton, remember? And everyone was ridiculously comparing Evan Ferguson to Wayne Rooney. Do you remember? And I was saying back then, guys, calm down. Yeah, he's good and this and that, but let's see what happens this season. Now, for whatever reason, I mean, Man United are still heavily interested in Baleba. I do believe his head has been turned a little bit. I do think we put him under a little bit of pressure, all that rumours and stuff like that. It was almost like he almost signed for Manchester United. It was close to signing for Manchester United, wasn't he? And as we know, and he probably felt that he was going to sign for Man United, given that he agreed personal terms with Man United. Man United are still rumoured to be meeting up with the entourage of Baleba later on this month to try and solidify a deal with Baleba, and Manchester United still want this player, still high on the priority. But as I said, when new players come in, like the likes of Elliot Anderson coming out of nowhere, it's going to turn people's heads, and it's going to be like, well, we can get him. He can be cheaper. Adam Wharton's still a thing. Man United love Adam Wharton. They have done for over a year. Obviously, other players that I've mentioned that, could possibly come in that midfield position. News circulating that Manchester United will make 2 midfield position signings. Now, that is what we need. Absolutely, that is what we need, whether it's Wharton, whether it's Baleba, whether it is Anderson, whether it is Javi Guerra, whether it is anyone out of the players that we've mentioned, whether it is any of those players. Man United do need 2 midfielders at the moment, given that Collier won't play for Man United. He's on loan. I think he'll be on loan again next season probably. Then Casemiro, of course, is on 350 grand a week. Man United would like to get rid of him. However, there is rumours about Casemiro being handed a new contract. I think that'd be absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. I think that'd be madness. SLD, big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Where will Maz play? Hopefully he replaces Shaw, and even though he's right-footed, I wouldn't play him in the left-sided centre-back, mate. It makes a huge difference in the back three. It make the whole team go like this. We need to play players in their correct positions in regards to their foot. Euro can play left-sided centre-back. Maz can play right-sided centre-back. De Ligt can play centre-back. Euro's two-footed, by the way. Foden worries me. Don't worry about it, RJ. Let me tell you something about football, mate. Do not worry about it, mate. We will be fine. Absolutely. Sal saying Doku is a spicy Dan James. I hear it. He's a spicy Dan James. He's a glorified Aaron Lennon, and that's one thing I would say again, and we shouldn't be worried about pace merchants. We shouldn't. You get them in the championship and stuff like that. You shouldn't worry about them sort of players. He's not gonna give you problems. If you're fast on the right wing back position, Ahmed has to be on his toes, and I think whoever plays against whoever he plays right or left, I think Dorgu will play on the left, won't he? So obviously, Dorgu will play on the left against Doku. I think. Amram should start Sesko no matter what. I'm sure he is going to bury 4 goals out of 5 chances when he gets enough minutes. Sesko's conversion record is phenomenal, and I would play him as well, Asif. I would play him as well. I don't think why we're waiting for. He's a £70 million striker. What were we missing last season? However, what I would say is that the way Ruben Amram is thinking, the way Ruben Amram thinks is that basically he wants to control the game. He wants to keep the ball, and I'm a bit worried about him playing Mason Mount. He probably play Mason Mount in the false number 9 again. And that's what worries me, because I do believe that we should start Sesko now. Given the fact that, Man City have got injury problems, I think it'll be the last thing they want to do is play against Benjamin Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha. Crosses coming in from Mbeumo, Cunha coming in from Mbeumo. You've got Ahmed running on the right. You got this, the last thing they want is that. And having Sesko up front will preoccupy the defense of Man City. And I think we should play him. I don't think we should think about it too deeply and too tactically what Ruben Amram will probably do. We need to keep an eye on the King who plays for Fulham. Very good player. Joshua King, isn't it? Same name as the old player used to play for Man United. He was a Norwegian international. Doku is only rated on FIFA, not in real life. You're going to have to fill me in. I mean, obviously, I'm not up to speed with FIFA these days. So, post-Fergie, which of our signings are most successful? You're going to have to say Bruno Fernandes. That's it. In regards to success since post-Fergie, Bruno Fernandes is Man United's most successful signing. Absolutely. Asif, Casa, Bruno, Shaw, Mount exits will create good enough spaces to bring in quality and young players in. Make no mistake, signing the players now, no panic buys. Actually, you're sounding like Glazers, Asif, today. You're sounding like the Glazers. Obviously, Man United are not going to do any panic buys, guys. And the best thing to do is not do this to Glazers, not on this show. Not on this channel. None of that. We're not going to panic buy. We know we're going to panic buy. That's not to say that we're not in. Look, the players that I've mentioned to you that Man United are interested in are good enough players. Lamine Kamara, Lucien Agume, Yavi Guerra, Yuri Giza, Adam Wharton, Anderson, Baleba. These are all good enough to play in that Man United midfield. None of these players will be panic buys. I've not mentioned one panic buy here. You haven't seen one panic buy. You haven't seen me mention Gallagher here, and that's what I would say. Guys, listen, at the end of the day. And that's what I would say. No disrespect, but I don't think Man United are going to be doing any panic buys. Man United have an entourage of people looking at transfers these days. Obviously, you've got Wilcox, you've got Berrada, you've got these people as well looking at that. I miss Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera was a workhorse SLD. I think we can do with him right now. One of our better signings over the last 12 years, I would point at. It's a shame that he had to leave the football club, of course, guys, but it is what it is. And the one thing about Ander Herrera is that he loved Manchester United. And people forget that Alex Ferguson wanted Ander Herrera, and we didn't end up signing him that year because... obviously an injury prone or something like that. They got an injury. And Man United ended up signing him the next year with Louis van Gaal, I believe it was. Ephraim, Sal, panic buys is their tactic to not buy players. That is what it is. We're not going to panic buy it. We're not going to be held to ransom. And that is a Glazer thing to say. Sorry, Asif, that's a Glazer thing to say. The players that we're linked with is not panic buys. They're not. None of them are panic buys. Each one of them have their own set of skills. Sound like Liam Neeson. Each one of them have their own set of skills. You know what I mean? And they are very good players. There's going to be no panic buys, man. And and if it is panic buy, we don't want to panic buy. We want to walk to the right destination rather than run into the wrong destination. We've heard the quote, isn't it? That's a Jim Ratcliffe quote, by the way. And that is Glazonomics for you. I know a Glazonomics quote when I hear one. And absolutely, guys. Asif, I'm making a lot of sense, mate. It's you who are not making sense, mate. You're the one who's saying no panic buys. It's all Ineos today about this, about that. Asif, shut up, mate. Don't talk to me like that on this channel, Asif, or you'll be out of here, bruv. Sal, have you seen the Hall of Fame nominees? No, I haven't. What is the Hall of Fame nominees, guys? What is the Hall of Fame nominees? I haven't seen it. To be honest with you. I've been very busy today. I've been working hard, guys, today. I've been very busy, but I haven't seen it. Let me know what the nominees are, guys. Look, when I say things, I make perfectly clear English as a fan of this football club for 40 years. If I tell you something, like at the end of the day, I don't talk nonsense. I protested against the Glazers, and I protested against the Jim Ratcliffe ownership, partly ownership, and I don't like any of these sucking up and stuff like that. Absolutely, it's a sign of weakness. Daryl, Vidic is Rio is in there. Vidic Rio is in there. In where? Oh, okay. In regards to the Hall of Fame, Ryan Giggs should be there, shouldn't he? RJ, would you still take Brantford at United? Not for the price that they were quoting. No, they were quoting 60, 70 million. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. William, Hall of Fame, big up, Daryl. Thank you. We don't support the Glazers on this channel. Thanks. I mean, all this Glazonomics things, and then you say make it make sense, mate. You don't. I mean, do not on this channel ever say that to me. I don't care who you are. Ever say that to me. I'll read out everyone's comments with glee, with happiness. People like Daryl, big up Daryl, always talking sense. You know what I mean? And if I hear nonsense, I will give you the lowdown on the nonsense. Absolutely. And don't write me no long ass Twitter message either if you do that. Do you like Van Heck from Brighton? I like a lot of players from Brighton, to be honest with you. I think Brighton are very good at the end of the day in regards to what they do. I think they're very good. Absolutely. Daryl, Falzam said, F off the Glazers and Ineos. Absolutely, mate. Look, but the most important thing, obviously, is the game on Sunday. And when I call things, and I mean, you know what I mean? People like their opinion, like, when they talk about, not panic buy. We don't want to panic buy. Like the money's coming out their pocket. It's ridiculous. That's Glazonomics. You can tell a Man United fan from a Glazonomics. Absolutely. Jack, Sunday we got Man City. We need to beat them, hopefully. We will, mate. Jack, we're going to beat Man City, bruv. We're going to beat Man City. Watch this space, mate. We're going to beat Man City on Sunday, mate. Absolutely. We're going to beat them. Daryl, look, you know what? At the end of the day, not giving any credit to Ruben Amorim and just saying that, Ineos this, Ineos that, Glazers this, Glazers that. Mate, they're not going to do anything for you, bruv. Don't worry about that. They're not going to put £1 million in your bank account. They're absolutely billionaires, guys. Absolutely. Sal, some of our fans believe Ineos, there is no evidence. There is no evidence. And then obviously there were rumors about Ineos leaving the country, taking billions out of the country. What are they doing there? We'll have to wait and see. Let's beat City. Come on, RJ. Let's do that, my friend. Let's do that, of course. Daryl, 2-1, 3-1, I think that's the score. Hopefully, Daryl, my friend. I really do hope so. I really hope it is. I pray that it is. I really do. You know what I mean? What I would say is that I think Man United are going to win anyway. I really do. Absolutely. Jack, we've done it before. We could do it again. And we've done it with a weaker team last year, Jack. A weaker team. It could be argued, isn't it, mate? We've done it with a weaker team. We didn't have Mbremo and Cunha and, all these players playing for Manchester United last season, did we? Sesko and players like that. And we beat them. And against the odds as well, we beat them. And I got a feeling, Jack. I got a feeling, mate. I got a feeling we're going to do it, mate. SLD, Sol Campbell, I agree. Carrick, I agree. Defoe, I don't agree. Patrice Everett, I agree. Fabregas, yeah. Les Ferdinand, I agree. Fowler, I agree. Eden Hazard, I agree. Gary Neville, I agree. Owen, I agree. Teddy Sheringham, I agree. David Silva, I agree. Yaya Toure, yes. Van der Sar, yes. Vidic, yes. Where's Ryan Giggs? Where's Cristiano Ronaldo? Where's Paul Scholes? Where's all these players, guys, that have dominated the Premier League for many, many years? Where is Roy Keane, guys? Where's Roy Keane? Where's Schmeichel? What's going on here, guys? I'm seeing a lot of kerfuffle there, mate. That is a bit crazy, isn't it? Daryl. Yeah, just some as the Glazers taking money out of the pub put towards the Yankees. Absolutely, mate. Mate, look, if you don't know, if you don't know that Ruben Amorim is the key, right? Ruben Amorim is the key for this, right? every single man and his dog were calling for Ruben Amorim to be Manchester United manager before he was Manchester United manager. And all Ineos did was listen to the fans. That's all they did, right? In regards to removing the players, the dead wood and stuff like that out of the football club, that was Ruben Amorim, because he's done it before at Sporting Lisbon. And that's what I would say. William, Glazers have been a cancer to this club. Don't give them the airtime. Rats, come on United, buzzing for Sunday. Me too, mate. Me too. I mean, as people know, I don't even give a hint of credit to them. No, and I don't give. I mean, there is a lot of proving to do here. Nothing has been proven so far for me, right? We didn't get our midfielder. We didn't get a right wing back. We didn't get our defender. We didn't get squad players. So, and it's late. So I don't think blowing smoke up people's backside is the way to go, because it makes you look weak. And as Man United fan, I know Man United fans are not weak, and we shouldn't be like that, you know? Joe and Avram are Jewish. I have nothing against Jewish people, nothing against them. I do, however, have a problem with horrible, nasty people that, you know, in regards to, has nothing to do with religion. Yeah, what's going on? You know, and yeah, it is what it is. There are many good Jewish people out there, lovely ones who understand, who are against it and what's going on and stuff like that. But that is politics. That's another thing, of course, guys. We're not going to get into that too deeply. Obviously, football is. You know what I would say about football? Football is an escape. Football is an escape. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know, and I always believe that, you know, the thing with football, right? It unites people. It unites people. It gets people together, you know, and I love it. That's what I love about football. I love that about football. You know, I really do. And when you get people together and you can talk to people from all around the world about our great football club, you know, it's amazing. I love it. And being excited for Sunday, you know, having to look forward to Sunday. We are the lucky ones. We can sit here and we can be excited for Sunday. We could be excited for the game against Man City. We can. And I'm looking forward to it. And we're in this great position that a lot of people won't have, you know, and I'm happy about that. Jack, do you think Senny Lamens will start on or Alti? Jack, you know what, mate? I heard the comments from Mr. Jacobs, Ben Jacobs, of course, today. He made me feel a little bit more positive about Senny Lamens starting. However, knowing Ruben Amorim and the way he is with, obviously, Sesko and that, will he start? I think 50-50, Jack. I think 50-50, mate. I do. I think it is like this, mate. I mean, it's a flip of a coin, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if Bayende starts. I wouldn't be surprised if Senny Lamens starts. Actually, I might be slightly more surprised if Senny Lamens starts, because it's something different that we don't do. You know, as I said earlier, there's no easy games in this Premier League. None. No easy games in this Premier League. You know, and whether you play him against Man City or you play him against Brentford or Brighton, it's going to be the same difficulty level. So you might as well just play him now and stop like messing around and stuff. Sal, I will be mad when some of our fans say Amorim has no excuses. He has million excuses. They did not back him properly. I know, Ephraim, I know. The one thing I would say is that they haven't. And obviously, he will be backed eventually whole, but it's going to be in yearly installments. What I would say is that, yeah, you know, the fans that are going to blame Ruben Amorim without looking at the context of everything that's going on are just, you know, peanut heads, in my opinion. Absolute peanut heads. Yeah. Daryl, we need a better backing for Amorim. He's the only man who we need to sort this squad out. I like the fact that he's clearing the shit. Absolutely, Daryl. And this is a Ruben Amorim thing. This is what Ruben Amorim's all about. This clearing the squad thing, this is a Ruben Amorim philosophy. You know, he's done it many, many times with players as well that were good for him, were successful for him, and he got those players out. This is why I make no, Ineos, you have to get credit. Don't give me that rubbish, man. Don't give me that rubbish. It's like you're basically swearing at me. When you say about Ineos and guys, you're basically swearing at me. That's what you're doing. You're basically saying slim, you know, it's slim pickings and stuff like that, the way you're talking and stuff like, anyway, but I do it. Sal, do you know Nuruddin? Yeah, I know Nuruddin. Yeah. I've had Saeed on the channel, RJ. I've had them on the channel. Any reason why? Would you like me to say something? It's not about religion. It's about greed, and the Glazers bleeding us dry. Absolutely. It's a football club for the fans, not a monetary. Absolutely, William. Whoever it was in charge of this football club, right? It is about money. And it is about our football club. It's not about religion, Zionism, this, politics. It's nothing to do with that. It's the way they've treated this football club over the last, 20 years? And we want them out of our football club now. And they need to leave the football club. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult for them to leave our football club. It's come to the point now, William, where I feel like, are they ever going to leave? Are they ever going to leave this football club? SLD. Football should be an escape until we watch United play. Then there's stress and disappointment. SLD, I hope we don't get any stress or disappointment on Sunday, mate. I really do. I hope Man United go from strength to strength on Sunday, beat Man City, beats Chelsea, and then we're in a really, really good place. And many, many of us will be excited about it, of course. Man got rid of 22 players at Sporting. Yeah, mad thing. Absolutely, Daryl. Absolutely. He's the man. Big up. Yes, Noradine is passionate. He's passionate, I would say, in all due respect. I have nothing against him, but he's so quick to turn on the manager. He's done it before and he'll do it again, and he's doing it now. Planting the seed, both of them, Saeed and him. And I have nothing against them, brothers, but and I know how hard this content creation game is. But what I would say is that they need to calm down on the turn against the manager team straight away. I never hear them talking about the Glazers and Ineos. I mean, I do Nuruddin, not so much Saeed, but I never hear them enough. In regard, I hear them talking a lot about, Noradin's good. He talks about it all the time. I'm not going to agree on, but Saeed doesn't. But we need to cut out the manager thing here because we need to look at context. Ineos got it in bed with the Glazers. Just remember that wolves in sheep's clothing. I can't trust that, can you? Imagine, William, that you're one of your enemies, right? Is friends with your enemy. One of your friends is friends with your enemy. You can't be friends with that guy, really. You can't if he's in undercover and all that, Daryl, most of the other channels, they like it because at the end of the day, there's two things, right? One of them, they don't want to talk about the Glazers because obviously, or Ineos, because obviously they can't get their VIP passes for the press conferences. Another thing is that turning on Amram is the easy thing to do. It gets hype, it gets clicks, and that's what they like to do at the end of the day. They won't look at context because context is boring in their idea. Do you know what I mean? They already done it, mate. They already turned on it. And within the next loss, if we lose to City, right? Even if we draw to City, guys, if we draw against City and Chelsea, I wouldn't think that would be a bad thing. Obviously, we've got easier games coming up, but they're gonna turn against Ruben Amorim. Absolutely. They're waiting, they're on the edge. They're waiting. They're like ready. Mark Cassette, go. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. All of them. In regards to those guys that I've met them all, by the way. At least with Rance, with Saeed, you know what you're getting. There's people out there, right, who pretend that they're flexible with their opinions and they're all for opinions, but they're not, i.e. Flex and people like that. And this is respect here. Again, having hovered around and watched them, they pretend that they're opinionated. That's my opinion. But if you don't like opinions, go somewhere else. But they don't like opinions. They hate opinions. You know what I mean? When you go against opinions, they're like, they're like that. You see it all the time. You saw it with KG when it was thingy, at the end of the day. The problem is, Daryl, United TV. The problem with United TV, he's blowing smoke up Ineos backside as well, Daryl. Have you seen it? Just every day. Ineos this, Ineos. They need to calm down. They need to calm down, man up and calm down. I like Terry as well. Been on his channel 3 times. Nothing but love for Terry, and he's Stender like me. I have nothing but love for him. And I wish him well all the time, guys. Don't forget to mention Stretford Post to him. You know me, Sal, Stretford Post. Been on there 3 times, known him for a number of years, and I have nothing but admiration and love for these guys. The thing with Terry is that he's very there with his opinions. He's not, how would you say it? Extreme. He's not an extremist with his opinions. He's right in the middle. And those are the type of people I like conversating with. And I don't like people who are like fully this or fully that, in anything, because nothing is absolute in football. Absolutely, RJ. Ephraim. So some of our fan base reactionary, they do not, they're reactionary. They know what they're doing, Ephraim. They know what they're doing. They know they're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They built their platforms because of that. They know exactly what gets clicks. They know exactly what gets likes. For me, look, I would say it like this, guys. I support Manchester United, and that's who I support. And I will forever support Man United, and I will want what's best for Manchester United. You, me, most people know that Ruben Amorim is the guy for Man United, and keeping him and being patient with him, you can tell from his mannerism, you can tell from the way he's passionate, from the way he's getting rid of the players that, that he's the right manager for us. Daryl, 100%, brother. 100% clickbait for all the money. Only just got like our board. Absolutely. William, just remember, United manager job is not easy. Give the man some time. Believe. Absolutely, William. Spot on, mate. But it's whether the others are going to give him time, isn't it? Absolutely. It's whether the others are going to give him time. Big up, Amir. Thank you for joining the stream. Guys, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. You absolute legends. Much love to you all. Nothing but appreciation, whether we agree or not. But just don't come on there and start blowing smoke up the Glazers and the corporate bigots backside, because I don't do that. Guys, I'm allergic to that. And guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to put your notifications on when I go live, of course. And also, don't forget to the morning show tomorrow, Breaking Dawn. And don't forget to smash a like, guys. Very important. Thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Yeah, absolute legends. And thank you, William, as well. Ephraim, all you guys. Absolute legends, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. And I'll see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, guys. Be there or be square. See you soon. Peace.